The views and opinions expressed on the following program are not necessarily those of the staff and management of Salem Media of Hawaii.
Aloha, I'm Chef Rock, and this is the Culinary Underground. Guest chefs, live music, and mixology. Let's go!
Chef Rock, he's one of a kind. Chef Rock, he will blow your mind. Chef Rock, you gotta watch him do his thing. Chef Rock,
All right.
Chef Rock, he's highly skilled. Chef Rock, and yes, it's thrill. Chef Rock, see what he's got cooking. Chef Rock,
Hey, I'm the other white meat.
Chef Rock, yeah.
Yeah, baby! Hey, welcome, Hawaii. It's Chef Rock, and you're here at the Culinary Underground on KHNR 960, The Answer. And we are the answer to all your culinary questions you might have. And I hope we address them all today because you know what's happening? It's tailgate time. That's right, tailgate mania. That's the time of the year I really like when the best teams are playing against each other. There's a game on right now. Who's on right now? Is it the who's playing right now? Oh, you can say it out loud. Go ahead, Daisy. You don't have to whisper. I can't hear you.
It's the Seattle Seahawks.
Seahawks. That's right, the Seahawks. All you Seahawk fans out there. That's right. I am a Charger fan.
I'm a Niner fan.
That's our guest, Laura Granzella. She's going to be on the show today. You're a Niner fan.
Thank
Well,
you.
We'll talk to you later.
Oh,
Your
no.
volume just went off. Shut her volume off, Chaz. It's not good. There's some conflict already in the studio. Now, well, I'm a big old Charger fan, and one of our guests today will be calling in from San Diego. The Chargers. Can you believe the Chargers made it all the way to play the Broncos today or tomorrow? We have a great guest. His name is Craig McEwen. Craig went to the University of Utah. He was a tight end for the Redskins, and he actually won a Super Bowl ring. It's incredible. He's a friend of mine. So I've seen this big old ring on him. My God, it's enough for like 4 people. It's a big, big diamond-studded ring.
Well, that's impressive.
Well, he's a big boy, too, so it fits him nicely. So he won a Super Bowl ring. You're a little dirty old lady.
Yeah, thank you.
And so he won a Super Bowl in '87 with the Redskins, and he played for the Chargers. He's a tight end. We're going to have him on the show. A little later on, he'll be calling in, and that's going to be a lot of fun because we have some old war stories, too, we'd like to share. And we have Laura Granzella. Laura, besides being my business partner on the TV and radio show, we also have a little liquor brokerage. And a lot of
Right.
people aren't quite sure what that is. So we're going to talk about that a little bit
Yeah.
later in the
I'm
show.
excited. Yeah, absolutely.
We should be
W-
excited.
Knowledge is power, and we need to get that knowledge out there.
Yeah, because a lot of
people.
people don't understand how that end of the business works. And they really don't understand that there's a lot of different liquors out there, and each one has a reason for being in the store,
Right.
a reason for being on the shelf. And as I say, there's always something new around the corner, and we're going to talk about that in just a minute. I'm always fascinated about food trends. And now that we're basically into 2014, a lot of stuff has disappeared. You know, and I'm looking at this list, and this was from the National Restaurant Association. And what's
Okay.
kind of fun is foam and bacon-flavored chocolate is out.
Oh, okay.
You know how
Well,
they-
that's good
they-
to know.
you
I didn't
know-
know it was that much in.
Well,
so
that foam is kind of really a high-end restaurant stuff where they'll foam a hollandaise or they'll
Oh,
foam
okay.
a sauce and they put it on top, and to me, just a waste of air. You know, it's foam, for Pete's sake. How much am I paying for foam? A
Hey,
lot.
yeah, exactly.
I'm glad it's out. I never was a big fan of the foam. Bacon flavored chocolate, I'm going to really miss.
yeah,
That's
no,
going to be a tough one to
That
go.
came and went without me even knowing it.
Well, here are the things that are still in,
Crazy.
though.
What?
Believe it or not, fried chicken is big. You know,
Okay.
chicken and waffles
Okay,
are
no, I can-
huge.
Chicken and yeah, okay, got it.
There's restaurants that, the fancier restaurants are even putting it on the menu.
Okay, I can go with that.
Barbecue, obviously. I think it'll
Barbecue's
always
going to be in, yeah.
Italian cuisine.
Well, we're booked 2 Dagos,
Hey,
so you
forget
know.
about that.
Hey,
What
what
do
are
I-
you saying here? You know what I mean?
You don't like my
I mean, come on.
linguine?
That's right.
We got eggs Benedict is still. I didn't know it
Okay,
was.
I like eggs
I didn't know it was in.
Hey,
I guess it's still in though.
it's I think it's a great Sunday,
brunch
more
item.
Yeah, go out to a nice restaurant. Absolutely. Yeah.
Well, here is the National Restaurant Association. I think they polled like 1,300 chefs.
Okay.
I wasn't called, but anyway, they must have lost my number. But and I understand a lot of these are starting because we've seen it start to develop last season, last end of the year, in locally sourced meats and seafoods. Of course, in Hawaii, where else are we going to get them?
Exactly.
You know, a lot of the food gets shipped in from the mainland.
It does.
And other countries. Mm-hmm. But we have an abundance of locally sourced meats now, from the meat we get from Molokai.
Yes.
And locally here on the island, the pig, the lamb, the chicken.
And now deer is coming over from Molokai too.
It is?
Yeah,
deer?
I found out from VJ's Butcher Shop.
No kidding.
I was up there, and he said to tell you
they got
that
venison.
he's going to be, and it's coming in from Molokai. I totally forgot to tell you that. But
wow.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. Thank you for passing that on, because I'm sure they don't hunt them every day. So when he gets it in, it's probably gone pretty quick.
Yeah,
so I gotta
I imagine so.
Put my order in there. Now, obviously, seafood, of course.
Of course.
We're surrounded by it.
Yes.
But in other parts of the mainland, it's very difficult to get fresh seafood in the middle of winter, as it's in Chicago and Minnesota. But I'll tell you what, they're getting it now with overnight deliveries. They're getting fresh seafood direct from anywhere they want in the world. So that is what is really going on with the menus. They're going to really kind of locally source, or they will also use locally grown produce when available.
Absolutely.
But you never really saw that on restaurant menus. Over here, it's big, but in the mainland, it's not that big. But it's going to be the trend this year. Mm-hmm. A lot of the restaurants that I've been reading on are going that route, and they're really dedicating to the local farmers. So what's happening with that? Artisan foods are coming back, just like that's why we named our company Artisan Brands.
Right, absolutely.
They have everything is going to be artisan now, from cheeses to the local meats, the things that like gluten-free is everything now. And that's going to be really big in 2014. Okay. I know that the grains that I always crack up when a new grain comes out, like quinoa, and everyone's going, and they even got a commercial on it. The Bud commercial does it, where the guy's eating a quinoa burger that his wife gave him, and they're making fun of it as he puts it on the barbecue grill, and the guy behind him goes, "What's that, a loofah?" But think about it. Supposedly it's 3,000 years old. Where was it for the last 2,999 years? Hiding?
I think so.
I think they found a supply of it, and they're telling us it's new and good for you. But anyway, it is good. Mm-hmm. It's great, and they're also really pushing this, and I'm kind of happy they are, is children's nutrition.
Oh, absolutely. I'm on there. I'm on board with you.
Right. Well, they've been fighting it for years in the school system.
They have.
Because they get subsidized their food credits from extra food. So they don't really care how they process it and get it to the kids, as long as it was free. And now I think they're actually taking it a step further, where they're actually developing recipes that are better for your child. So that's always a good thing.
Well, you eat better, you learn better.
Yeah, how could you go and have like 3 burgers and then go back to class without falling asleep? Well, at least that was my problem. And it still is. I hate to say it. But let's see. Non-wheat noodles and pasta. That goes back with the gluten-free. People are afraid of this gluten. It's been around forever, and all of a sudden people are allergic to it. Where'd it come from? I don't know.
That's a very good question.
Why
all of a sudden now? What's changed that it's affecting people and children too? Now than before, or unless it has been and we're just figuring it out. Who knows?
True, that's true. And the good thing is, if it does help, someone who has now that they know they have an allergic reaction to it, that's even better, because there's a lot of foods all of a sudden that are gluten free. And in 2014, there's going to be a lot more. You're going to see a lot more of it on the menus too. Sustainable seafood, of course, being from the Hawaiian area here.
And being very sustainable, of course.
And
that's,
it's awesome.
Farm to table, everything. Even Chef Nicole.
That's her. That's her whole forte.
That's her whole thing. Yeah, I just saw her on Facebook too.
I did too.
Yeah, we did a little talk back and forth.
Well, that's good, because she's right on the mark.
She
because
is.
2014 is going to be huge. And then farm estate branded items. I know that a lot of people have been buying like Angus beef. You buy this, you buy that. But if you look now, everything has a brand name to it. and it could be Snake River. You know, you'll see these names and you go, wow. Well, I've known about it because I would buy products from them, and it would be something that was grass-fed, or it was something that was special, a special item that they make or they grow. Yeah. And now if you look at a lot of the menus, they actually have the name of the farm where the pig came from.
Well, you know, people are interested in that now. You know, everyone's really reading labels these days, and they want to hear the story.
Yeah. Well,
I think the more you can share about the product, the more interesting it is, and I think it helps to sell it.
And backstories are always the way things work, and you're right. You're 100% on the mark there. And speaking of backstories, thank you for that segue. You know, one of our sponsors that, you know, we talk about, but I really sincerely love is Aloha Shoyu.
Oh, yeah.
And,
wonderful
you know,
product.
they're not just a wonderful product, but they have such a family backing. Mm-hmm. You know, I mean, they started out in 1946, 5 families right after World War II. How tough was that? Start a business and then create it and keep it going. Not just going, but growing. That's the tough part. And it continues to expand with quality products to this day. You know, not only do they just make, you know, this plain soy sauce, they got regular soy sauce, low sodium soy sauce, and the Aloha Gold, which is their premium, the real rich, full-bodied soy sauce. They even got gluten-free soy sauce.
There you go. We're just talking about that.
Yeah. They got distilled vinegars, and they got everything from glazes to barbecue sauces. And since it's tailgate season, I'm going to do a tailgate recipe using the Aloha now.
Oh, great.
And this was, I made it the other night, and it's awesome. And it's teriyaki.
Of course it is, Chef.
Of course.
I mean, you made it, right?
Come on.
I know. That's what
I ate
I'm
half
talking
of them.
about here.
It's the only way to tell it.
I never got to try it, but
well,
I guess
the
it
heck
was
with
good.
What? I don't share everything. Come on. I got teriyaki meatballs here. This is the perfect item that you can make and bring to your next tailgate party this weekend. Like tomorrow when you're going to watch the Charger game, nothing like teriyaki meatballs, and it's easy. Go with 1.5 pounds of ground beef, a couple eggs. And now when you see eggs in the recipe, don't just throw them into the meat. A lot of times you don't get it mixed properly. So give them a little whip in a bowl, separate. Then add that to the ground beef. 2 tablespoons of flour, 1.5 teaspoons of salt, some ground pepper. We need cornstarch. We need sugar. Aloha Shoyu, the regular, or you can go with the low sodium if you want. Can of beef broth, about 14 ounces. Some sake, you know, Japanese rice wine. And we need a teaspoon and a half of minced ginger and a teaspoon and a half of mixed garlic. So this is how the recipe goes. You want to preheat your oven, and you want to mix together the ground beef, those eggs, the flour, salt, and pepper. Shape them into little meatballs. Now, these aren't the big dogs. These are like little sample ones, you know, so people that, you know, I don't know, people get greedy sometimes when it's a buffet, right? So why make 20 big meatballs that I would probably grab 5? Make about 60 little ones. Then they feel guilty if they're taking more than a dozen. And I would shame those people out when you see them in line.
Absolutely.
If I'm behind them, I let them know.
You have to give them the look, you know, that look of like, oh.
You got to give them, how many are you going to eat, mister?
No, and then you just go and take one off their plate.
Well, I've gotten that look. So what you want to do, you can do it 2 ways. You could saute them up in a pan with a little oil, but the easiest way to do it is just put them on a greased baking pan and put them in that 400-degree oven for about 15 minutes. Doesn't take long because they're not that big. You know, then in a skillet, you want to put your cornstarch and sugar, your shoyu soy sauce, the beef broth, sake, ginger, and garlic. Mix that all together, and it'll slightly thicken. You pour that over the meatballs, and you bring them to the party. You're going to be the hit of the party.
Okay.
That's it. That's a nice, easy, simple recipe. And I know I went pretty fast, but you can go to their website, AlohaShoyu.com, and actually get that recipe.
And print it out and actually have it.
Yeah, so it's nice and easy. Put
like
it in
me, I have to have it in front of me. I'm not you, Chef. I'm not a chef, okay?
Put it in your portfolio.
I have to have it written down in front of me.
into the portfolio is great. I got another recipe, too, I want to share. This is a real fast one. It's using Aloha products again. The Aloha sweet and sour spare ribs. Oh,
that sounds good.
These are awesome. You can go with like 5 pounds of spare ribs. And now you could also go with pork shoulder and cut it into chunks if you like the chunks rather than the rib on. And then we need some beef broth, the Aloha teriyaki glaze, the Aloha white vinegar, diced pineapple and red pepper. So if you're dicing the pork, cut it into 1-inch cubes, then you sear it off in a saute pan. Okay. When I say sear, medium-high heat, you want to kind of crisp it up, caramelize it on all sides. Yummy. Kim, is that yummy? Yeah, baby. And then you want to just deglaze that pan, meaning that you want to pour this liquid in, and we're going to go with the beef stock, the vinegar, and the Aloha teriyaki glaze. Then you simmer it until that pork is tender. Oh, man. And then you add the pineapple and the peppers in at the end until they're a little bit tender. And we'll serve it country style over rice, baby, right? Who don't like rice? Or actually,
I love rice, so.
Some noodles.
Well, I'll do. Oh, noodles would be great,
Noodles
too.
would be awesome. But that's a nice way to serve a big platter of food, especially if you buy a pork shoulder. I mean, usually they're on sale, especially around the holidays or events. But if you go with the spare ribs, I like using the St. Louis cut. But you can go with any kind of spare rib you want. Mm-hmm. Pork is better. You know, I prefer the pork ones. But that's great. You know, just remember, give Aloha the respect it deserves. I mean, they've worked hard, and we love it. I love it.
Absolutely.
It's good stuff. I know we have a lot to talk about today on the show, and with tailgating upon us, I always like to give a few tips. You know, everyone always asks, "Oh, how do I have a good tailgate party? What do I do?" They don't really ask it like that, but they do have questions, and I like to give them this pat answer that, you know, to be organized prior to the party. You know, make sure you have enough drinks, make sure you have enough ice, and you have a place to put them. Because a lot of people, they get there and they stuff their refrigerator full of food, then they have no place to put the drinks. And then when people come over, if you're having a party, you have no place to put things. So you can get a cooler. Make sure it has the ice. Make sure you have that. Make sure you have cups, napkins, all those little staple items where most people go, wow, I forgot the forks, you know, and they do.
Yeah.
And they do. And if you need condiments, like if you were doing like little sliders and things like that, you know, you want to make sure you have the ketchup, the relish, the mayo, and all the goodies that go along with it. And don't wait to the last minute to prepare anything. You know, have it done the day before.
That would just make it so much easier. But why we tend not to
but
do
we don't
that.
do that.
Why?
Why? What time are the people getting there in 5 minutes? And you're sauteing onions. Come on. Why not open the door and then sit down with them and say hello and then actually have a drink with them rather than be disappearing into the kitchen every 2 minutes. But, you know, I'll have to say, any items that you can make ahead of time, like the 2 recipes I just gave you, they're all ready. By the time your guests get there, they're in the oven, they're staying warm. They can be made the day ahead of time and reheated, even. Yeah. And then make sure you have everything that you need for the party. And I always remember the days when me and the boys would always have these big Super Bowl parties, and, you know, I'd always be stuck on the grill, you know.
I know, that's not fair.
I know, and I'm trying to watch the game.
And they're all having a good time.
Yeah, they're inside yelling,
cooking.
and I'd have to go run in. What happened? Oh, you'll see it on the repeat. I got to watch come on. Really? Yeah. What happened? So I learned over the years to do things ahead of time and put them in a tray and keep them warm. That way people can enjoy the party. Like I wanted to enjoy the party. So that's one of, you know, some little tips that you can use to make your day or weekend a little bit better. The best one is go to a restaurant or a bar where they got everything already there. Yeah. But you know,
that's the best way.
But it is the best way. But most people don't do that. You know, if you're going to go to a place, you know, you want to make sure they have everything you need. And if you have children, you know, it's tough to go into a bar.
Yeah,
you can't really
do
that.
that.
But the best place to have a party is at your house. You know, and having all those people over, watching the game, getting excited. You got to have both sides, though. You can't just have everyone there for one team, because then if they lose, everyone's pissed and they go home, right? When the game's over, right? You ever have those friends, you know, they get so into it. If your team loses, I'm thinking of, are there any ribs left, right? And they're going, I'm going to punch somebody in the ribs. You know, they're just mad.
Yeah, I tend not to try to take it to that extreme, but yeah, I know there's people out there.
Well,
so.
There are a lot of people. I have friends like that.
Okay.
And you know,
don't invite them to my house.
Well, I can appreciate that they, you know, love the team, but you know, I don't love them like they're not sending me free tickets.
That's right.
You know, although if Craig, our buddy Craig McEwen, was still playing this day, he'd be sending us free tickets.
Really?
Oh, you love this guy. I can't wait to talk with him later on in the show. Again, as I mentioned, Craig went to, what do they call are they Utes? not a ute, like not like my cousin Vinny. Couple of utes. No, he went to the University of Utah. What do they call the Utah folks?
I have no
Uters?
idea. I'm not going in that direction.
I won't go there, but
Yeah,
I know
let's
it
move on.
had a fun. But they're a very aggressive tailgating crowd there.
I bet. Yeah.
So they're good. And he played tight end. Now, Craig's a big boy, and I don't know if you ever played football and was a tight end, which I wasn't, but all the tight ends that I knew, they got crushed on every play. Every play they're coming across, they're either blocking or pretending that they're actually going for the ball, or they're going for the ball, and they're pinned in there. You're kind of crushed between that linebacker coming up and the halfback. And these guys take a beating. If you ever seen a play over the middle in the pros when they got what they call the sandwich coming in and you got two linebackers crunching you, you're taking a beating throughout the years. And Craig was good, man. I watched some of his highlights, and Craig also was vice president of the NFL alumni in San Diego, which I was part of, so we were all friends
I know you
there.
told me about that.
We were also on the Army Advisory Council together. We did a lot of events for Wounded Warrior, which he's a big part
I love
of.
that.
And one of his charities is it's all about the kids.
And it should be.
Yeah, well, it's funny because a lot of the football players, the charity is caring for kids, but Craig has his own, and they get Christmas presents, and they do this big drive every year, and he's just a good egg, And I know he was on Volunteers of America because he volunteered for everything.
Wonderful.
So I mean, you're gonna love this guy when he comes on the horn a little bit later, and it was funny. I won't tell too many stories out of school, but I was out with him one time and we were out watching a game and we had a few beers and he had the ring on. And that ring is like a beacon, a woman beacon. Now, Craig, if you listen, I don't want to get you in trouble with any of the girls out there, but when he wore that ring out, every woman in the bar, I don't know if it's a jewelry thing or what, but I swear we were sitting there and this girl had to be 30 feet away. And she saw that ring, and I saw her face light up like, cha-ching. She came walking over. She goes, what kind of ring is that? And he takes it off with two hands because it's so big.
Oh, God.
And that's a Super Bowl ring from 1987. I won that. No, really? Wow, okay. Well, the girls didn't buy us any drinks. So anyway, but it was like a giant beacon. It's amazing what attracts people, but I can't wait to speak with him a little bit later, but first we're going to be in the next segment speaking with Laura Granzella. Laura is not only, as I said, my business partner, but also a liquor broker. We're going to find all about what is a liquor broker after this break on AM 690. The Answer.
Hey, I need to tell you something you really gotta know. If I was in your shoes, I truly wanna know. See, a woman was my girlfriend a couple years ago. I saw her just the other day. She said that you're okay. That's what she said. You're exceptional. That's what she said. You're unusual. That's what she said. You're a natural. That's what she said. You're remarkable.
I'm Chef Rock, and we'll be back after this break. This portion of the show is brought to you by Aloha Shoyu. Taste the flavors of Aloha. Made in Hawaii since 1946. For more information, just go to chefrock.com. Don't forget the dot.
Are you suffering from pain and fed up with what you're using now? Let me tell you about a new pain-relieving breakthrough cream that is helping people everywhere. It's called Alsys, A-L-C-I-S. No other topically applied non-prescription cream delivers more pain-relieving medicine more effectively than Alsys. Why? Because Alsys uses patented medical technology to deliver pain relief deep down to the source of your pain. Alsys is clinically proven to work in as little as 5 minutes and is ideal for back pain, knee pain, neck pain, arthritis, and pain from sports or work injuries. Alsys will treat your pain or will give you your money back. To find out how you can receive a free tube of Alsys with this limited time radio offer, log on to www.mypaincream.com. That's www.mypaincream.com or call 800-372-0550. That's 800-372-0550. 800-372-0550.
Hurry in for JCPenney's biggest sale of them all. For 4 days starting Friday, get $10 off 25 or more with your JCP cash coupon on select apparel, home, shoes, and accessories. Plus over 350 big buys all day, Friday through Monday, in-store and at jcp.com. Like $16.99 JCP sweaters for her and $12.99 St. John's Bay flannels and knits for him. Get ready to shop and save with your coupon this weekend. JCPenney. Our biggest sale of them all refers to the most sale items for the longest duration, Wednesday to Monday for the period 1/1 to 11/11. Coupon in-store only. Some exclusions apply. Check stores or jcp.com for details.
Welcome back to the Chef Rock Culinary Underground Showgram.
He's one of a kind. Chef Rock. He will blow your mind. Chef Rock. You gotta watch him do his thing. Chef Rock.
All right. All right, welcome back. That was a fun song. The guys are great.
And I miss Vito, though.
That's Johnny Valentine and the
Yeah.
Candy Bullets, ladies and gentlemen.
Absolutely
They're with us
wonderful.
all the time on our TV show, which runs on K5 every Friday night at 7 p.m. And it's the Chef Rock Culinary Underground.
It's a great show.
Yeah, that's our TV show, and this is the radio show, of course. We were just talking about all kinds of fun stuff that's happening around tailgating. One thing I wanted to mention is another sponsor that's a locally produced company is the Kona Brewing Company.
Yeah.
Great
here,
beers. great backstory. Father son started it on the Big Island, and created a incredible beer flavor and profile that has actually transcended into the United States now, into the mainland, I should say, and abroad. I believe they're in like 14 different countries. Obviously, longboard is like sweeping the nation.
It is. It is.
Everywhere I go in any bar, and I don't go hang out in a lot of bars, but when I do go to a bar,
I drink.
I order a longboard. I drink. I drink like a fish. No, I don't. How does a fish drink? You know, I hated that expression. You know, maybe a baleen whale. I do a little swallowing of the food and the beer at the same time, but that's my problem.
Okay.
But Kona is one of our sponsors.
Yeah.
And
Great company.
they got the Pacific Golden Ale. You know, now it's called the Big Wave now, and that's another one of their beers that are starting to really take off.
Yes.
They come out with all kinds of specialty drinks too. You know, the Cocoa Brown. You know, and they got the Pipeline Porter, the dark beers.
What's the one with the ice cream?
That's the one the Pipeline Porter.
Okay.
A really heavy dark beer, not too heavy, but full flavor. You know, and throw a scoop of vanilla ice cream on that next time.
I have to try that.
Oh, behave. That just sounds so good right now. And, they're all over the mainland, as I said, right now. And they're getting huge. And we're proud to have them as one of our sponsors.
Yes.
And I love cooking with it. You know, I mean, here's a quick recipe, a tailgate recipe. Years ago, I used to be we were kind of like spokespersons for Johnsonville brats. And, you know, up there, Wisconsin, they love their brats there.
Absolutely.
It's a state flag, you know. It's a state bird. It's everything. So the best way to do it, they call it a Wisconsin hot tub. And what you do is you get your beer, and I would probably use, maybe the longboard. Put the longboard into a pan, onion sliced, garlic, and butter.
Butter?
Butter.
Okay.
And then you grill up the brats. Never using tongs. You don't want to pierce the skin. You get arrested in Wisconsin. It's against the law. When they're golden brown and cooked all the way through, then you put them into the hot tub. Can you imagine? That's a style of cooking there. And they're covered in the beer and the garlic and the onions and the butter. And you get that real beer flavor just penetrates right into the brats.
How long does that set for?
Oh, you can keep them in there all dang day. But
the longer the better, I imagine.
Yeah, but they're not going to last that long. That's the problem.
Yeah,
they go in there. Sometimes they just get dipped. They go in for a dip and they're out. I catch guys drinking. I catch guys drinking the stock. You know, but well, there's two schools of thought. First, you cook it in the hot tub, and then they go on the grill. And the other way is on the grill first, and then into the hot tub.
I think I'd like it the second way. where it's just sitting in the hot tub
afterward,
Just
after it's been grilled.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
getting it, absorbing everything in.
Both
after
ways
that.
taste a little differently, and you'll have major squabbles over which way is the correct way to do it. So anyway, that's a quick little tailgate tip for you using the longboard beer.
Great.
Kona Brewing, baby. We thank you,
You got
very
it.
much for being part of what we do. Chaz, we got a caller on? Put the caller through. Let's see who this is. Hey, you on the phone?
Hey, what you doing over there?
Over where?
Where you at? Honolulu?
Honolulu, Hawaii.
All right. All right. I've been listening to you guys. You guys are awesome over there.
Where do you hear us?
I'm from Brooklyn, New York.
Well, I don't yell that loud. Oh, you listen to us on iHeartRadio?
iHeartRadio.
Ah.
90 a.m.
Fantastic, huh? So
Yeah.
you're from Brooklyn?
From Brooklyn, yeah. Vinny over here, huh?
Hey, Vinny, huh?
Hey, hold on. I got to put the cannoli down. Hold on.
Yo, Vinny, you're beautiful, baby. You're reminding me of my days on the East Coast.
Yeah, you got to say ganoli. We say ganoli over here.
Cannoli, like in Godfather. Leave the
Yeah.
gun, take the cannolis, right?
The ganoli. There you go.
A little cannoli.
Hey, why? I used to live out in California. Why the pizza out there is no good?
It's no good.
What's going on over there?
It does suck.
Huh? It does.
I really think it's the water.
Is it?
Yeah, it's the
What do they got?
You need dirty
What is it
water.
from?
You need dirty Brooklyn water to make good pizza.
What do they got? The sewer hooked up to Tijuana over there?
Yeah, not anymore. Yo, Vinny, what kind of pie do you like? You like the deep dish? You like the flat?
The tin, real tin.
Tin?
real
I know.
thin, like,
yeah,
piece
you're
of
cooking on a
paper.
tin.
Real thin.
Oh, thin.
Thin. I
Who's on
stutter?
first?
I'm not making fun of your accent, but I am.
I'm a clown. I'm over here amusing you. I'm here to amuse you. Am I funny? What's so funny over here?
Hey,
Huh?
hey, Vinny, come on over here now. Hey,
Hey, don't make me go over there and dig a hole. Come on.
so
I don't know
Vinny.
if I could put the lime in the overhead.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I don't think they let that on board anymore. Hey, Vinny, who you picking for the Super Bowl?
Seattle.
Seattle.
Yeah, my Jets are out. The Jets are out. So
Yeah,
forget about that.
they were out from the beginning.
I know. They look pretty good, though.
Yeah, yeah, good.
Not too bad.
How good?
Too bad. I think Seattle's going to take it, though.
You think?
I think. I hear things. I hear things.
You don't know. You're making it up as we go along.
No, I think Seattle's good.
Yeah.
I think they're going to take it.
What do you think about the Chargers and the Broncos tomorrow?
I like the Chargers.
Yeah, you think they're going to win, though?
Ooh, they look good. They could be the Cinderella, you know?
I think they already are. They're putting the dress on now.
I think. That River Phillips, he looked good in the nightgown.
River Phillips. That's his sister.
Yeah.
Philip Rivers?
Yeah. Hey, my little cousin, little Vinny wants to say hello.
Hey, little Vinny, get on.
Hello.
Hey, little Vinny, how are you?
Good. Who are you?
Who are you? Who are you? Well, you don't know who you're talking to? The Chef Rock.
Chef Rock. Okay.
So,
Good name.
it's a good name. Thanks. So, what's your
How are
name?
you doing?
What's your name?
Vince.
Yeah, you're little
How are you
Vince.
doing?
I'm doing.
How are you doing?
I'm doing fine. How you doing?
Good. I have a soccer game at 6, so I'm all ready and dressed up, so I can talk for a little. But,
Oh, okay, just for a little bit.
Oh, you want to talk to my dad?
Yeah, sure, little Vinny.
Okay. Bye.
Thanks, buddy. Have fun at the soccer game.
Huh?
Have fun at your soccer game.
Cute.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Hey, Big Vinny, I'll let you go.
All right. Hey, real quick before you go,
I
got a joke. How's a New Yorker give mouth to mouth?
oh.
Get up before you frickin' die.
Oh, okay. Thanks. Hey, on that note, we gotta go.
Get out of there.
You scared me there, Vinny. Hey, thanks for calling. Keep listening.
All right. Talk to you later, brother.
Hey, pick up the cannoli. It's time to eat.
You got a good show. You good. You
All right.
good. You got a gift.
All right, we'll see yous.
Bye.
Ciao. Hey, my cousin Vinny calls, you know? Hey, while we're talking family. I want to give a shout out to my wife, Janice, my beautiful kids, Rihanna, Giovanni, and the dog, Chanel.
Chanel, I love
My
it.
dog, Chanel.
I love
It's
it.
Chanel.
I know.
It's a little
okay.
Maltese.
I got it.
It's a fur ball.
It's a
She's
fur
so
ball.
cute. She's human. Anyway, I just wanted to say hi to you guys. Miss you. So let's talk. Let's
Okay,
talk
yeah.
Delora Granzella, liquor broker extraordinaire. Laura, first off, how long you been doing it? You don't have to give the age.
A very, very long time.
Thank you. That's
I
a
mean,
great
actually,
answer.
For many years, I was a supplier, though, and now I'm a broker, which means basically I work for myself, and I can work on several different products instead of just one. Like as a supplier, I work for Campari, Jim Beam, Sidney Frank, Jägermeister, Paul Cologne,
Nice.
Yeah. So, but now I'm, working on my own.
Now,
as you know, because you're my partner.
Yeah, I know. No, I know. And I'm not like trying to
love it.
trick you into any kind of question and answer thing. But of
course not.
What a lot of people are wondering, because we get hit up all
Yeah,
the
I know.
time.
We do.
Everyone always has a new product. There's so many products out there.
Yes.
Let's tell the folks, how do you get it on the shelf?
Hey, it's not easy. First of all, you need to get it into the state of Hawaii. So what we usually, as you know, have to do, and you've been there with me through it, is shop distributors. So you try to get the brand into the distributor, and then once
Right.
it's in, then you need to work with salespeople to get out the product. Like I was working with Campion, on Tuesday with Mark from Southern Wine and Spirits.
That's right.
We had a great day. What a fabulous salesman, by the way. But just to stick to what we're talking about, though. But then, okay, so you get it on the shelf and so forth. And when I think that a lot of companies that are coming out with new products now that haven't been around for a very long time, they don't understand that just because you put it on a shelf doesn't mean it
Doesn't sell it.
It could sell, but it's not going to sell.
But it's not
right
going
up.
to.
No, you actually need to work the brand. You have to work the brand in the market. So
That's right.
distributors are really afraid to bring in a brand that they already know no one's going to work it, and it's going to be up to them to have to do everything. You need representation, and that's really what it's all about: is representation of your brand. Somebody out there working with salespeople. You're the cheerleader.
Right, like with Campion.
With Campion,
Great tequila.
very good tequila.
Now, it's not the kind of tequila that you would put in a margarita.
You could, but
could,
you know
but
what?
why?
I know exactly.
It's got such a great high-profile, high-end taste.
It does.
In fact, I like to cook with it too.
Yeah, I know.
I
and
do
you have.
enjoy it because people don't realize when you cook like with wines or beers or tequila, for instance, it really takes over the dish.
Yeah.
So why would you put something that you wouldn't drink or taste kind of mediocre into the dish? Quick,
Yeah.
another tailgate dish right
Okay,
here.
okay.
We'll call it Charger Shrimp Diego. Just happen to
For your friend,
just
Vinny.
happen to know that name. No, this is good. It's real easy. A little olive oil in a pan, some garlic, and some shrimp. Peel it
Okay.
off, everything, all the shell. Devein it, wash it, put it in there. Start sautéing it up, and then I add a little bit of jalapeno diced and some chili powder, and then I flambe with the Campion.
Of course.
And what you want to do is pull the pan off the burner a little bit. Add that Campion, about a quarter cup. Because what you want is that real, true tequila flavor in the dish. So you go and you flambe. Be very careful not to burn the house down. Have a cover there and cover it if you have to. And what that will do is that'll get all those crusties that embedded on the bottom of the pan and re-release that flavor. And now I'm going to make the salsa right in the pan. This is an old dish that we used to make down in Mexico when we got all the boys together. That's a whole other story. So what
I'm sure it is.
Yeah. So what we do is then you make the salsa right in the pan while it's still
Yeah.
cooking. I add the onions, Maui onions. I go with Roma tomatoes and
Yeah.
cilantro and a little salt and pepper, and
Okay.
it's done. Serve it with some rice, some refried beans, and some corn tortillas, and you got nice street tacos, shrimp
Yeah.
street tacos, and you serve that up because you could serve it like family style. Put that there, have some sour cream if you want, some guacamole, but you don't really need it. Just put some of that the shrimp mixture right into a corn tortilla after you steam it, or put a little oil on it and cook it for about 30 seconds each side. Oh my God! I'll tell you what, that is so good.
It sounds good. I'm hungry now.
That's
Where are we
easy.
going?
That's the easy way to use the Campion. Now I know we have another guest coming up soon. How much time do we have, Chaz, before our third break? What do we got here? Couple minutes? A few more minutes. So Laura,
So, yeah. Ask
obviously
away.
ask.
Yeah.
Because,
And I shall tell you.
yeah. And as we say, if we don't know the answer, We'll make it up. Oh, baby. What's cool is we do have Craig McEwen coming up in a few minutes. And we're going to be talking about football and tailgating and some of the old war stories that we have. But Craig, I mean, you're going to love Craig because he's a player. I mean, he played. He's a big physical guy who played pro football for many years. So he was right there in the trenches. And that's where we are right now. We're in the trenches. Yep. We're out there trying to make it happen for a company that has a brand, that has to get on the shelf, stay on the shelf, and then move off the shelf so we can reorder it.
Exactly.
And that's basically the business.
Sales.
Yeah, exactly. But you know it as well as I do. It's difficult to do because there's a
lot of competition out there.
Competition.
And I think that the main thing for me as technically a salesperson is to have a story to tell, so that no matter how many years later, when that buyer, no matter who they're working for afterwards, actually sees the product, they know the story behind it. So it's always with them.
Like with Campion.
Campion, you want to have the story. It's small batch. It's made in a small barrel. Okay? And there are a lot of other small batch products, but tequila, no. So, and it's very, very unique. And that in itself.
And don't they use the agave from the Highlands?
Yes. And
so that is a specialty because it's up a little higher. It's a little cooler.
Yes.
And it takes on a different flavor note than the straight blue agave that grows for miles and miles that they use for.
Right. So it's warm days, cooler nights.
Yeah.
So the soil, they've taken everything into consideration in growing this product, from the actual agave plant, where it's growing, the soil, the terrain, everything, and the small barrels. So they've really covered it all.
Well, that's great. I mean, I hopefully gives you a little insight, ladies and gentlemen, on what it takes to get a product not just on the shelf, but moving off the shelf. Thank you, Laura. We're going to take a little break, and then when we come back, we have welcome. Craig McEwen, former Charger. Oh, yeah.
I'm Chef Rock, and we'll be back after this break.
Here's the problem with trying to meet clients and colleagues in person. If you drive, you spend a fortune on gas these days. You waste time in traffic. If you fly, you have to buy a ticket, and that's expensive. Get up early, go through security. What a hassle. All for just a 2-hour meeting. That's why I recommend GoToMeeting. You can do more and travel less. What a concept. With GoToMeeting, you can host an online meeting right from your own computer. Everybody simply logs on to GoToMeeting.com during your conference call. They can instantly see your computer desktop on their computer screens. It's just like meeting in person, but so much less expensive and much less time-consuming, too. You can get more done in much less time without the hassle of driving or flying. I've used GoToMeeting. It is a great time saver, and it's just like being there. My listeners can try GoToMeeting free for 30 days. That's a month of unlimited online meetings free. Visit GoToMeeting.com. Click on the orange Try It Free button and use the promo code MEDVED. That's GoToMeeting.com, orange Try It Free button, promo code MEDVED.
This portion of the show is brought to you by Aloha Shoyu. Taste the flavors of Aloha. Made in Hawaii since 1946. For more information, just go to chefrock.com. Don't forget the dot. Welcome back to the Chef Rock Culinary Underground Showgram.
Chef Rock. He's one of a kind. Chef Rock. He will blow your mind. Chef Rock. You gotta watch him do his thing. Chef Rock.
All right.
Chef Rock. He's highly skilled. Chef Rock. And yes, it's thrill. Chef Rock. See what he's got cooking. Chef Rock.
Hey, I'm the other white meat.
Chef Rock.
Yeah. Yeah, baby, the other white meat. Okay.
I have to laugh.
How am I going to live that down the rest of my life? I'll tell you what. We have Craig McEwen on the line. We're going to bring him on right away. I'll tell you what, this guy's phenomenal. Craig!
Hello, baby.
How you doing, my brother?
Man, I'm peaches and cream, living the dream here on the Pacific Coast, taking care of it over here. How about you guys on the island?
Hey, you know what? We're just waiting for the next big wave, man.
Well, hold on, man. I'll get my big boy, Big Tony. You remember Big T-Bone? We'll get him to come off the top 10 meter board, man. We'll send you guys.
We'll call him Tsunami Tony. I'll tell you what.
We'll put a little salt on the rim when it splashes up on shore for you. Make it nice. Come on.
Everything's related to cocktails with us, isn't it?
Cocktails after a good juicy steak, or maybe some poo-poo platters, or as my lovely, wonderful woman in my life likes to make, the picky poos.
Picky poos? What's a picky poo?
Yeah. Oh man, my lovely lady Stacy, she makes me the picky poos, man, and they just whatever shows up on the plate, man, you just picky poo at it, and it's all good.
I love it. Hey, Craig, earlier we were trying to remember what they call you guys, the University of Utah.
They call us left out because we never made a bowl game. That's what they called us, left out and left over. Pretty much, whatever was left, we'd use the Utah Utes, the running
Utes. That's right, the Utes.
You remember the Utes? Hey, come on, get me over there. Hey, can I get a quick shout out to Vinny Jr. Back in New York? Hey, now, little man, you got a fan here in San Diego, man. Keep popping it.
I like it, right? He was good.
Yeah, and Vinny Senior, Big Vinny. Hey, man, send us some pizza for God's sake.
I know, for the love of life, spread the wealth, baby. Hey, Craig.
Man, they're putting tomato sauce on a tortilla out here.
I know. What the heck's going on over here? Hey, I want to talk to you a little bit. I know we got the Charger game coming up. What do you think? What's happening there? You played for the Chargers.
I think they're in a good place right now. They got a lot of energy. They're all charged up. They're operating on all cylinders. They've got some fair help. Ryan Matthews' ankle. I say we just drop the needle of cortisone courage and pop it in there and just let him roll. He's been an integral part of this thing. From about 5 games left in the season, I think they were saying numbers were 500 plus yards over the last 5 games. And when they're doing that, that opens up Rivers to hit those short, quick West Coast passes and let those guys run with the ball and even drop back.
Right. I think you hit it right on the mark. I was watching last week, and right at the beginning of the game, I said if we can put pressure on the quarterback and maintain a running game, I think we have the Bengals there. And sure enough, that worked.
One way to put pressure on him is, Steve, you should show up and make him some of that, meatloaf of yours. He'll be putting pressure on.
You remember the meatloaf, do you?
Oh man, all I did was loaf on the couch after that.
I know. You're a loafer. A loafer.
We're getting to miss the bus to the stadium. I don't know.
I know. See, that was my fault. You can blame me for missing that game. Hey, I got a quick question for you. We always talk about, Super Bowl and Super Bowl rings and all that, and that's all fun stuff. But what was it like to be in the Super Bowl? I mean, you were just starting in the NFL.
Yeah, my rookie year, I tell you, and even how I got to that point and the journey and the path there. I look back now and reflect, and I know it was not of my doing. It wasn't the conventional way, but when I got there, it was everything I thought it would be, and about 100 times more than I even imagined.
Wow.
It was just, the enormity of it, the over the top, with the accommodations and the amount of people catering to you, and then the energy leading up to that day. It was fun. We stayed at a great place. It was, you constantly put up on top of the world on a pedestal, but you're staying at the Hyatt Islandia right on Mission Bay, San Diego. The weather's just like it is now, 72 and sunny. You're
nice.
being, back and forth to the stadium, and then when you get in there before the crowd comes in, and it's the quiet, it's just almost so loud where the paint is fresh on the grass, and you're just looking around. It's like, it's like the man in the arena. It builds, and when you're inside that stadium, if you can imagine this, when somebody gets all excited and hyped up, and you hear that and feel that energy, that's the electricity shooting through your body from 78,000 people getting up off their feet, and that's an incredible feeling.
Wow, that's incredible. I mean, just to have that in your history, we've spoken about it many times, but it's a tough sport. You take your beating, you take in your licks, but you went from the Redskins to the Chargers, a passing team, and you must have taken a few licks there. I've seen some pictures of you getting sandwiched.
I did. I don't remember. What happened? Who is this I'm speaking to? Get my number.
Hey, are you guys getting compensated for this already?
Yeah, right. Hello.
You took a few pops.
It's a collision sport. It's a violent sport. It's the nature of it. It's what it is. It's the nearest thing to the gladiator. So you're going out there, and one of the ways I heard Gary Plummer phrase it, and I remember hearing your saying this, God rest my brother's soul, and he said, if I could hit a man repeatedly as hard as I can that when I see the light in his eyes go dim because he will submit to me soulfully and his spirit will no longer ignite, then I know I've got him.
Wow.
That's intense.
That's what when you go in there, you're not going, we don't go to hurt either one of us. We all have that respect of the, if you will, not to dramatize it, but the gladiator. You come into, a lot of times, this alter ego, or you just raise your level of consciousness and awareness and energy. You go in there to dominate. It's a land acquisition, and you have to wear them out. And none of us want to hurt. And if you see, it's few and far between. That's a when you get in those positions, but it's one of the greatest things about it is to take that hit, which I used to do, like you said, going down the middle, about 10, 15 yards, looking at the quarterback, and all of a sudden, here'd come Dennis Smith or Ronnie Lott or one of them old big safeties used to be in the league, and they'd come back and they'd take me like a meatball off a toothpick. And they'd lay some cheese on me. And but to get up from them, and as they'd stand over you, and they'd be hooting and hollering, and you stand up, and you say, "All right, hold on to this ball. I'll be back in about 35 seconds. That was fun. Let's do it again."
That's funny. Yeah, because you'll see those guys get back in their face, and it's like, hey, you can put me down that time, but I'm gonna, next time I'm gonna be going around you, or I'm gonna catch that pass.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great sport, for what the challenges that it gives you, the opportunities. I mean, look at how many times people are coming back. I mean, look at what's his name, Luck with the Colts, and that ball pops down, instant reaction, boom, dives for it. It's so much fun. You've got to be thinking at light speed. You got to be Avatar.
Yeah. You guys are thinking 3 plays ahead. Like how could I beat this guy out? And he's wearing down, or being a tight end. You guys were the targets going across the middle most of the time.
Well, thank you for complimenting me on the tight end. I appreciate that.
Yeah, since you lost all that extra weight,
Yeah, well, yeah, I gave that over to Tony. Big T-Bone took that on, man. He's like a brontosaurus burger now.
Yeah, is he really? How big is Tony?
No, man, me and my buddy Jared, man, we tell him, I see he's about 2 Big Macs away from 350.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he looks like the big brown bear on the little clown tricycle at the circus.
Oh,
he's riding his bike down the street.
Well, you tell him send my love to him when you see him. He's a great guy. All the boys. We had some fun. We did a road trip one time to Vegas to shoot a little pilot for a show we were trying to do, and we had quite the time, if I remember correctly. It was tough to remember.
Yeah, well, you had definitely taken the lead on driving us, so you were in the captain's chair. And
that's right.
Tony, myself, I think it was Brian.
Brian Sullivan.
Brian Sullivan was in the back.
Yeah, and Big Jim Weatherly.
There's a little punter between us.
Yeah, we had to put the punter. Now, you guys always treat the punter like he's, not really a player, huh?
Well, we're not really sure. They're still doing studies.
Because they hardly get hit. Come on, let's admit it. When they do get hit, they act like they got punched out by 50 guys. They're, falling all over the ground, and doing this acting bit. When you guys get hit, you get hit.
He's got to make it in Vegas, man. He's like a house of cards, man. He drops it at the nearest whisper. But that thing was funny. He took us out to, man, doing that little tailgate cookbook.
Yeah, that was a great time.
That was good. We got to that. Where was it? We were at the Hooters Hotel, and I think you had to go.
Only the best, buddy. Only the best, not the Islandia.
You know what, Coach? It had a pool. Me and Tony were dipping our, getting our mani-pedi at the pool and drinking all your mini bottles.
That's right. Remember, I did some event and I had like about 100 of them. So I figured that'll last the whole weekend. And I come back about 2 hours after we've been there, and I can't find the boys. Well, we go to the pool and they're passed out. They drank all of them, 100 of them. They had 100 drinks. And
Tony was using those things, like a 5-hour energy drink. He was monitoring his blood sugar with that. That was a good time.
That was a wild time.
Yeah, remember he got hungry, and then we went to Dan Marino's.
All you could eat ribs? Didn't they kick us out?
Yeah.
They ran out of pig.
Yeah, they ran out of pig, and then Tony started picking his teeth with the chair leg.
He's such a big guy, man. Hey, Craig, you know what we're gonna do?
You got a good rib gravy, rib sauce for me.
I'm gonna have to send it to you. We're running out of time. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have you on again next week.
Right on.
I'll give you a call later, my brother. God bless you. Thank you, everybody. You've just listened to the Chef Rock Culinary Underground. We will see you next week with a whole brand new show.
He will blow your mind. Chef Rock. You gotta watch him do his thing. Chef Rock.
All right.
Chef Rock.